Welcome back, everyone, to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. You are listening to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus interview series. You can find out more about what we're doing at LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com for all your Loudini needs, including interviews like this with bands like we're going to talk to today, the Vaughn. They're on the line here. They're a great band from Florida. I'm really excited. I absolutely love their record, 8. It's just absolutely killer. So we're going to be talking to them in a second. First, we need to pay a couple of bills, and that means thanking our sponsors. Positively Pittsburgh Live Magazine, pplmag.com, Pittsburgh's first internet radio, TV network, online community, and business directory, the place to go to get all your business needs met. You can get your business promoted. Something like 8 million viewers every month on PPL Mag, so it's a great place to be seen and heard about what you're doing. Plus, there's a lot of great information there. So if you're looking for information on marketing, you're looking for information on different authors, you're looking for information on different music, the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus is on there. It's a great place to go, pplmag.com. Also like to thank MTS Management Group. That is mtsmanagementgroup.com. MTS Management is more than just an artist management company. It's a bona fide rock star in the music industry, specializing in full-service artist management, publicity and promotions, and social media campaigns. MTS Management is on the cutting edge of today's new music business. And as I was saying, guys, when we're getting started here, that today we're talking to this amazing band, The Vaughn, an American indie electro rock band from South Florida. They formed in 2012 by bassist, vocalist Luis Bonilla, and guitarist Marek Schneider. For much of their career, the Vaughn has been a trio with drummer Lisa Seda, who replaced their former drummer after recording the band's upcoming album. Actually, I believe the album is out. All three members of the Vaughn came together and formed a bond by talking about their favorite rock and roll legends. These sound like my kind of guys, actually. Bands are the bands that are big influences on their music career now. Now, these passions are at the forefront of what the band brings to the crowd with their energy, which is nothing short of contagious. They're not just a band; they are an experience. Luis and Marek, welcome to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, guys.
Thanks for having us here. Hi, everyone here.
Are you all set? Marek is in Germany, so are you all set? Did you find a place to pull over to talk?
Yes, I did. I'm just right in not the best lane, but good time to talk now.
Okay, all right, my man. Just speak up and speak clearly, and we'll be good to go. We'll start with Luis. Luis, how did the band get started? And give us an overview of what the Vaughn is all about.
Well, the Vaughn is about being free of any preconceptions. The Vaughn is about creating what we feel inside, and not being limited by anything. It might sound a little pretentious, but that's how we feel inside. As a band now, as a unit. And we got started. Marek and I, we just met, and he decided to one day to force himself into my apartment and start having guitar. And I'm glad he did that, because we are what we are now because of his intensity. And it was really, really good of him to do that.
Marek, can you talk a little bit about your influences?
Okay, well, way back when I started playing the guitar, it went, from classical guitar to the teenage era. Then I dove into the metal, and I was in metal bands in Europe. So it was really, really dark, heavy, deep death metal, and all those things. And as far as my music influence on the guitar, then mostly I've been influenced by the bands from, going back from the 60s, starting like many guitarists, when Jimi Hendrix, and then Queen, and going, further to the 80s. I started, diving into AC/DC and Metallica, and when all those came together, there was a time with like a blend of dark metal surfacing into alternative music and now these days new age music. So pretty much I'm like a sponge, and I think Lewis is the same way almost. We get, influenced by many things, yet we maintain the core from the heart what we are doing in our creativity with, without the boundaries. When we feel like certain things are done a certain way, whenever the inspiration comes, it comes, with creativity and free of boundaries.
Okay, so speaking of inspiration, who is the principal songwriter in the band, or do you guys write as a band? Luis, go ahead. Why don't you take that? And hey, Luis, if you could speak up a little bit and speak a little clearer, because I'm still having some phone issues here.
Okay. Well, the song process, it varies. Sometimes I just show up with a basic idea and I share it with everybody. Sometimes it's Marek and I just jamming something that sort of carries on and we keep on working on it. And sometimes it's been the case, we record our rehearsals and in between songs, an idea sparks, and luckily we have that and we can capture it and go back to it. So it works in those ways for us.
Tell us a little bit more about you have a new record out called 8. It's absolutely fantastic. I mean, you guys sound completely professional. It does not sound like a first record at all. How did the record come about? Did you produce it yourselves? Did you work with a producer? How did it get recorded? Either one of you guys, jump in.
Yeah. Well,
okay, I'll get started. I'll let Lewis jump. So pretty much the songs, the material, when we started working on it, we decided to get our own space, and we were lucky. We found a good space in Boca Raton and created our own recording studio and started, capturing the ideas, sort of like a pre-arrangements, pre-production. And once, felt that the material is solid, from the live performances feedback, then, we started just laying down the songs, and then the magic started happening. As far as production and other details, I'll let Lewis talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah, thank you, Marek. The production was a collective effort, but it was me manning basically the equipment, and the science basically behind it, or the thought was to let it flow and capture what we were doing beat by beat. We were actually very lucky because this is our space and there was no rush. We did many takes of many things, and what we considered to be good one day, the next day we listened to it, we didn't like it, we did it again and it came out better. So the production on this was more of a collective effort. Yes, I did some of the things myself, but it was not just one person. It was all of us.
So you guys, as I understand correctly, so you produced this yourself at your own studio?
Yes, that is correct.
That's right. Okay.
That is correct.
Now, this doesn't sound like that, though. Your record really sounds very good. I mean, have you guys produced other records before?
I have. The thing is that when we say we have a studio, I mean, we have a studio. It's not your bedroom studio.
It's a real recording studio, and actually the studio is going under major transformation. We are working with our future Irish partner. He's got a platform to do mobile streaming of live performance, and we are starting sort of pioneering this program so we can, deliver to the listeners not just our music, but more of this music spectrum of other local bands and, anything that is really good and suitable.
Okay, all right. Well, that's great that you guys have that. Congratulations. The record sounds great. You guys are also visual. You have some very interesting. You have a new video coming out. Is the new video out yet, or because I saw there's a making of it on your website? Is that done yet?
Not
in
yet.
Production.
Tomorrow we shoot the last scenes, which will be my part.
Okay.
We got Marek, little Lisa, Now tomorrow it's my part, and we'll get it edited soon, and we'll be out by the end of this month. And we're really excited because this is going to be a very unique concept. Really proud of it. We are very happy about it and excited about it. So this is going to come out soon. This is for the song "Cry of War."
It's going to be very supporting the idea of our music. We call it visionary rock, and there's going to be a lot of light effects. I mean, different concepts of doing videos doing this kind of music.
Okay, now that's what I wanted to ask you guys. No artist wants to be sort of like, pinned down to, they sound like this or they sound like that. But could you kind of give us an idea, like how would you describe, Marek, you go first, and then Luis, describe the Vaughn sound.
Okay, I'm going to do more in the abstraction and let Luis describe it in more examples, because our music has a lot of esoteric influence, and what we are working on, or what our intention is to, put the sound together and the tones, that the harmonies that, sort of supersede whatever is out there. So obviously there are influences. I mentioned, the bands I listed, maybe from, if you like to compare it to the modern bands, I would say Muse, Queens of the Stone Age.
Mm-hmm.
But I let Luis more elaborate on this subject.
Go ahead, Luis.
Well, it's a little difficult to describe what we do, because it's obviously when you ask an artist what they're doing, you're actually just doing something that you like. There's no really comparison.
I understand.
I guess it's like I would say, what do you think of it? But we just do it from our own influences, from the heart. We don't sit here and say, well, let's make a song that sounds like AC/DC. Not at all. It's a collective influence of everybody in the band, and obviously we are rockers. We like rock and roll, and that's what we play. If it sounds a way to you or somebody, well, that's good. But we're not copying anybody, and that's not our mission, because we are very satisfied when we play the song, and we like the song. Yeah. If people like the song, then even better.
Luis, let me ask you something that I noticed about your sound and your in you and your playing on the record. You have what I feel is a kind of a unique approach to the bass guitar. In a trio, it can be kind of, how do you fill up the spaces? I mean, and there's been many power trios over the years, Cream, the Jimi Hendrix Experience, and, those bass players solved that problem differently. You have a very unique way of approaching the bass, in my opinion. It's a way you fill up the spaces without sounding busy. Do you have any particular influences on the bass, or do you have any thoughts about that, or do you want to comment on that?
Oh, definitely. I picked up the bass because of Steve Harris from Iron Maiden. That was my hero. And also Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath. So I would say those two musicians influenced me greatly. The other thing that I would say influences my sound is because I'm also a guitar player. So in a way, I'm a second guitar and a bass at the same time. That's probably why the music sounds the way it does with the bass. It's because I'm playing parts that could be played by a second guitar, but at the same time it's merged with this bass guitar and the influences of these two great rock and roll legends.
Now that you mention it, though, I do hear the Steve Harris. But what's cool about it is, because you guys you don't sound anything like Iron Maiden, but you still kind of are bringing that in, and I think that what you guys are talking about, making your sound so sort of like unique, that's part of it, is bringing these sort of separate influences together to create this cohesive music. Go ahead, Marek, you were going to say something.
Yeah, it is, and actually it's tougher on me, because when we finalize the songs and when we listen for each and every detail, I'm kind of, Louis's technique, it's like, the bass and the guitar combined in the bass instrument. I'm in the space where, the guitar needs to be laid down very neatly to complement the drums and the vocals, because it's a keyboard. So it's kind of really delicate role to put it there, and then, I'm enjoying just, so that there's space and spatial influence. I would say in my case, I was listening a lot to Brian May, Joe Satriani, Steve Vai. So those guitarists, in my case, a little bit of influence where I'm playing in different songs with different delays. In Cry of War, I decided to skip a guitar solo and give the space to the keyboard because the song felt like, okay, there's no space for a guitar solo. It felt like cliche to stick a guitar solo there. So I decided, okay, the space is for the keyboard. So it's based on the feeling, what texture and structure of the music fit in the certain part of the song, and that's how it evolved.
Yeah, definitely, and you're right on Quiet Cry of War. That's very noticeable. Also, you sort of like, when you get into the acoustic part on that, Luis plays a bass solo, but it's very bass solo, if I may say so. It's not like what you typically think of as a bass solo like in the jam band. I mean, it's like a real part of the song.
Yeah, that's a different song. Yeah, that's Nothing to Fear.
It's Nothing to Fear. Do I have it mixed up? I have it mixed up. I apologize. Yeah. Nothing to Fear.
Yeah,
no, you guys have. Right, I apologize about that. I was watching and I got this. Pardon me. So what is there's let's touch on this real quick because you guys have an interest in yoga and shamanism, and why don't you guys just talk about that? Each one you talk about that for a second. Go ahead, Luis. You start, and Marek, you go ahead and jump in.
Well, I would actually let Marek go first.
Okay, well then, Marek, go ahead.
All right, so we're gonna answer this one. So, well, let's get started with the shamanism. It's something that Luis and I stepped into roughly 5 years ago. And it just blows the dimensions of space and time, where you get to know your true self and the true reality, which kind of help us. Many of those songs even get started with the acoustic guitars, and actually there's like a good half of the album which started with the acoustic version, which eventually acoustic version during the shamanic ceremony, and it evolves in the rock and roll part that we are playing. Yoga, it came hand in hand to me. Louis got to know a lot of yogic philosophies, and it helped me pretty much, set the freedom in my life with no boundaries. And, that's why the song, when Louis wrote the lyrics for Nothing to Fear, it came from, one of the shamanic ceremonies. The lyrics were, we were experiencing certain, I would say, paranormal things, certain entities seen. So all those things came in place, and this, has a major impact on our lifestyle. And in my case, I'm a yogi. I practice yoga daily and, live the lifestyle. So it's kind of a unique thing being, rocker. And I underwent the shift of, the regular rocker into a yogi rocker, which is kind of unique, but that's, how it blends in and comes in place.
Do you want to add anything to that, Luis?
Yeah, there's no drugs, sex, and rock and roll in this band. There's vegan, yoga, and lots of good water.
Okay, so there's no partying going on. But so, what can people expect from a live show from the Vaughn?
We are
live show. It's really visual. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Live. Although we're very calm people, live is another matter. Live is when we project this energy out. It's sort of like when the bull steps into the bull ring, right?
Right.
It comes out like that, and we, in a way, we have two personalities. The one that's talking to you right now and the one that's on stage is different. might seem too calm, but on stage it's the whole different thing. And that's how we are, everybody, when we're playing live. And it's just a punch. You just got to give it to people. We work hard at it, and when you're on it, you just want to give the best. And that is your chance. This is it. We go every time we play like it's the last night or the last day we will be alive. Just give it all.
Give it all.
Yeah, it's really wild. And just on the subject of, we are still green leaf lovers, so this still remains in the rock scene. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. So what's coming up for you guys in the next 12 months? Is there anything you'd like to plug? You have any festivals or anything coming up that you want to talk about?
We are wrapping up our performance act for the Southwest by Southwest in March, and we will be promoting our album. Coming the spring, there will be a little mini tours, and then we are planning a big one, the East Coast and the West Coast, and also we are talking with one European agency to do some shows in Europe later on this year. I mean, in 2016. Sorry, I'm already in 2016. And also we are working with the military to tour the military bases worldwide. So that's the nearest plans what is happening right now.
Okay. Anything you want to add, Luis, before we wrap up?
No, that covers it all.
That's it. Just go listen to the record. The website is thevon, number 4, the letter U.com, thevonforyou.com. And pretty much everything is there. There's you can right there is your YouTube channel where you can see all the different videos. And the song I was referring to was not a cry of war. It was Nothing to Fear. I got a little mixed up there, but that's a great video, totally professional. Everything about this band is 100% professional. The sound is unbelievable for a first record, self-produced. It's really amazing. So I'm really excited to see what the future brings for you guys. I hope that I'm in the Pittsburgh area, so I hope you guys, when you're on one of your tours, you're able to make it to the Great White North of Pittsburgh. And,
absolutely, we'll be very happy to be there.
I'd love to see you guys play a show. Anyways, we're talking to Luis and Marek of the Vaughn, and that is thevonforyou.com. Guys, hang on a minute here. We're going to do some business before we wrap up, and then, like I told you at the beginning,
sure.
we're gonna. There's some bonus stuff that the audience out there will have to subscribe to hear. So just sit tight, guys. You've been listening to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. That's LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com, where we are passionate about bands like the Vaughn. They are exactly the types of people that we believe that you need to hear about and you need to be listening to, because yes, it's indie, but it's also absolutely amazing, really beautiful, moving music that, and in this case, will rock your absolute ass off. I'd like to thank MTSManagementGroup.com, MTS Management Group, artist management company. So you go to MTSManagementGroup.com to check them out. And once again, thank you, Positively Pittsburgh Live. You can go to pplmag.com. And once again, LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com is where you can hear more interviews with bands like the Vaughn and other artists. Please check out our music cast that come out every Saturday, where we play artists like the Vaughn and a lot of others that you're not going to hear anyplace else. That is LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com. And one more time, that is thevonforyou.com. Guys, thanks so much for listening, and we will see you on the next podcast.